Hello and good afternoon. Happy Thursday to everyone on the line. My name is Ryan Embry, and I am the brand ambassador here at Travel Media Group. I want to first off thank everyone for taking the time to join me on this webinar this afternoon. And I'm super excited to share this information and content with you all. We got a really fascinating webinar today. At the end of this presentation, as always, I will be providing my direct contact information in case you had any follow-up questions with the content that I'll be sharing. You can also use the chat feature, which is located in your toolbar, to type any sort of questions or feedback. I will be responding to those questions and feedback personally following the conclusion of this webinar. So before we start and kind of jump into the evolutionary timeline of a modern hotel website, I want to first talk about why hotels need their own website in 2018. Now, the most common response I hear from hoteliers when we talk about their hotel's website is that I already have one. And from there, I am shown and directed straight to their hotel's brand webpage. Now, although this is ultimately where we want the traveler to book, your hotel's brand webpage is not the same as having your own hotel website. So I have an analogy that I want to kind of explain on why that is. So using your brand webpage as your primary site to drive direct bookings is kind of like having a restaurant in a food court. Now, customers and guests have the opportunity and can choose you. But there are also a number of other options right there in the immediate area. Today's hoteliers are turning to vanity hotel websites to create a space where customers are not instantly surrounded by their competition, almost like purchasing a whole separate venue outside of the food court to run their restaurant. Now, if you're an independent and you're on the line, you know that your website is the lifeblood of your marketing strategy. It is the loudest and most effective way of getting your hotel story to the traveler. And more often than not, your website is the first time a traveler will interact with your property online. That is why it is so critical that your website be the best representation of your hotel and gives off a very strong first impression. If a traveler comes across an outdated or non-responsive website, that's going to give off that very same impression of your hotel to the traveler. Now, ultimately, the goal is the same. It's to convert guests directly and commission-free. But in this example, which restaurant do you think has a higher conversion rate? Is it the one located in the food court surrounded by all of its competition, or the restaurant in its own separate venue driving customers to a competition-free space? Now, with dozens of OTA sites and the fast-growing popularity of vacation rental sites like Airbnb, guest acquisition costs are rising exponentially year over year. We know this. Hoteliers need to be more creative than ever to attract direct commission-free bookings to their hotel. So what I want to do is take a journey through time to see the evolution of websites in the industry. And at that point, we can make sure that your site is optimized for the fast-paced hotel industry of today and not stuck in the hotel world of the past. So in today's webinar, we're going to be exploring the history and evolution of the hotel and website domain, RamadaSeaWorld.com. I want you to take note as we travel through the years to see how best practices have changed as our technology and travelers have evolved. We will follow this website to analyze the technological upgrades and advances that has made this hotel website the direct booking driver that it is today. So let's begin our journey, which starts all the way back in 2001. Now, the first thing that pops out immediately when a traveler visits here is the bright colors on this site. It is very noticeable, almost painfully noticeable. But as you can see, it also makes some of the content very difficult to read. If this website was live today, it would have some major ADA compliance issues, as well as having a huge effect on its Google ranking and SEO. Now, you want your website to be as user-friendly as possible. Bright colors and hard-to-read fonts could decrease your ultimate goal of converting that potential traveler. Now, another aspect to consider about this website is the image content. The site has done a great job of highlighting the local attractions, but what about the hotel? There is not one picture on this homepage pertaining to the property. The traveler does not know what the amenities look like, the rooms, or even the building itself. In today's world of social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, travelers absorb their information through images. So this site needs to add more pictures of not just the attractions, but the hotel itself. And the last thing I want to call your attention to before we see the next version of this site is the call to action features within the site. This is the most crucial aspect of a hotel website, traffic conversion. How are we turning lookers into bookers? So I want to focus on how call to action buttons have kind of evolved from this site to today. As we take a look at this site, we can see that it is heavily relying on converting traffic through phone, as they list their phone number 4 different places on the homepage alone. Now, overwhelming the user with the same call to action without a lot of creativity can prove to not only be distracting, but ineffective. In saying that, let's travel forward a decade later to see how this website has changed over that time span. So in 2012, right from the start, you notice the more user-friendly layout of this site in comparison to its predecessor. You also see that the hotel has a featured picture of the property located right at the heart of its homepage. Now, although this is an upgrade from the original site, there should be some more images of the property on the main page travelers are being directed to. Again, adding images of your rooms and amenities on your homepage get the travelers to imagine themselves at your property. So we do start to see some technological advances around this area with a virtual tour of the hotel offered and a tab at the top labeled reservations, forwarding the traveler to its brand booking site. But there is not nearly enough urgency and call to action on this website. I would also caution about the small font and large amounts of content on this page. Travelers do not want to read novels to learn about what your hotel can offer. Think about the way you visit websites today. How much are you reading versus scanning for the information that you're looking for? Your homepage should highlight the main benefits of your hotel, while the pages on your site, those should go into more detail. So let's continue our journey, traveling a couple years forward to explore the next version of this site. So now we've made it to 2014, right? Only a few years away from where we are today. Can you start to see the difference between this site and the ones previous? Well, the first thing the travelers are going to notice in comparison to sites past is the visuals. Now, finally, the user can see some high resolutions of where they'll actually be staying at the hotel. Along with those images, this site also uses a scrollable image feature, displaying everything that the hotel has to offer to the traveler without ever having to leave the homepage. This helps immensely with traffic conversion. So speaking of traffic conversion, let's take a look at those call to action features again. Again, advances in technology makes it easier than ever to push traffic directly to your brand and booking site without having to rely on the traveler calling the hotel, like back in the first version of this website. In saying that, this website has multiple reserve buttons situated in different areas of the homepage, always encouraging the traveler and user to make a booking decision. Even the subtle change of renaming the reservations tab at the top to make a reservation and moving it to the first tab can have a huge impact on traffic conversion. Now, although this website looks improved and almost completely optimized, it is missing one critical feature that we have not mentioned up to this point: responsiveness. This website is not responsive. Now, website responsiveness is measured by the way your website adapts to how the user is viewing your website. For example, mobile responsive refers to how your website adapts when pulled up on a mobile phone. Responsiveness has a major impact on SEO and where your website ranks on searches organically, and is only going to become more and more prevalent. So let's travel forward one more time to explore the final version of this website. So here we are in 2018. Instead of just showing you a screenshot, let's go ahead and jump in live to this website and see what travelers are seeing today. So the first thing we notice when travelers are going to be coming to this new and advanced website is a date picker. So what we've done here is even advance that decision-making process even more forward to where they can actually pick dates from this site. Now, once they click that search button for the dates they're looking for, they are automatically sent to their brand page to make sure that it is in compliance with their brand. Now, for independents, we've been able to integrate a lot of the POS systems into this very site to, again, achieve that ultimate goal of keeping guest acquisition costs low and direct commission-free bookings. The second thing that we notice is the responsiveness. So let's test the responsiveness of this site. And the way that we can do that is as I start to drag my screen to begin smaller and smaller, maybe even the size of a phone, you start to see the website adapt to this size. This means that the website is responsive. So no matter whether the traveler is pulling up this website on their phone, on their tablet, or any other device, this website is going to be responsive to that. And Google will recognize and reward this site for it. Another feature that is mentioned for the first time that we've seen is the integration of social media. Now, this is huge, especially in 2018. This really acts as a highway between social media to your website. If you start to build an audience on your social media, give them clear-cut paths and roads back to your website. Encourage them to book with you. And then you can use your website also to build your social media profile. So integrating social media is just going to become bigger and bigger. We've also been able to upgrade this website and adding a video to their homepage. Again, with the way that travelers are absorbing their information, pictures are just not enough anymore. So adding videos is really going to add value to your website. And lastly, what we've been able to integrate is a feedback tab. This is giving travelers the opportunity and guests the opportunity to leave their positive or concerns on your site directly. So it comes to you instead of going to those reputation review sites. So I want to go ahead and reflect right now on what a hotel website has really evolved into. In 2001, it just used to be a place where hoteliers would share their information. But now with the integration of social media, reputation management, and call to action and direct bookings, this has really turned into a multi-purpose tool for a hotelier. Now, in saying that, some of you guys might already have a website set up. And we understand sometimes those websites can be very costly. But you have to ask yourself, how are you tracking that ROI? We find that to be very important. And in saying that, this is what we provide for all of our partners who have partnered with us with their hotel websites. Now, this is a dashboard, a simplified version of some really cool analytics to show where that traffic is coming from and how well that traffic's converting. Now, this was a dashboard that was cut or a screenshot in a 90-day span. We can open that up to a year. We can open that up to a certain seasonality or season, just to figure out kind of some metrics there. But the first thing we want to look at is how many people are finding your hotel, right? We've got 665 sessions in the span of 90 days. That's a lot of travelers that are doing research and looking at this website. Now, if we go a little bit lower, we can start to see some information on what they're doing once they're there. So we're seeing that they're actually clicking into more pages. They're averaging almost 2 page views and wanting to learn more about this hotel's information. And below that, we love to see that average session length be up there as far as many minutes as possible. The more they're on your site, the more likely they are to convert into a booking for you. And speaking of converting, we've got those analytics right here for you. Almost 36% of the time, travelers are coming to this, and they're ultimately doing what which is the goal of this website, is to convert them. We can see trends down here of the amount of sessions and users, and then we've got a really cool analytics here at the bottom. Now this represents where our traffic is coming from. We love to see this green organic traffic. That means that through Google searches like hotels near SeaWorld or hotels in San Diego, this hotel's website is being found. And that is a reward from Google from the responsiveness and the user friendliness of the site. The direct are the people that are remembering this website URL or finding this URL on marketing from the property. So these are the people that are typing that in directly. Social media, self-explanatory, those are the people that, again, are finding those roads from their social media platforms to this website and vice versa. And then referral come from different sites where this website is posted on. So we love to kind of see this breakdown and can show you where your traffic's coming from. And then over here to the right, you can see we understand the hospitality and hotel world is fast changing. So even without any setup fees for the sites that we build for hoteliers, we understand that you might need to make changes if you have any sort of renovations that you've done. So this gives them a really easy way to submit those changes to us, which again, do not cost the hotel anything additional. So just as this website has changed over time, so has the technology and users' expectations, quite frankly. Meaning if your website has been stagnant for years, you are not only staying in place, but you're falling behind. The scary thing to consider is every day moving forward is the most competitive the hotel industry has ever been in the history of this long profession. Now, is your hotel properly equipped and evolved enough to compete in today's environment? Or are there aspects of your property's marketing strategy that are like some of the websites that we've seen today, stuck in the past? So, as promised, guys, here is my direct contact information. Again, we consult with hotels on their websites, show them best practices on how to optimize them. Would love to speak with you about your property. I love learning about properties all over the nation. So that is my phone number, my email. And, again, the ultimate goal here, guys, is to cut down on those commission costs and put some of that, those commissions that you're paying to OTAs back in your pocket. So we are going to be continuing doing our educational series. We have a new channel we're really excited to announce. This is our sweet spot. We just launched this podcast here. It's a bi-weekly, we release episodes bi-weekly, all about the industry, everything that has to do with hotel digital marketing. So if you're interested, please subscribe to that. You can find that on iTunes. And lastly, we're going to be continuing our summer or our 2018 educational webinar series next month. I'm fascinated in this subject. It's called On the Right Track, Outrank the Competition, where we're going to show hoteliers how tracking your reputation can really show you a blueprint on how to outperform competition. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. But other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.